Thank you. Well, folks, welcome to the last meeting in May. As usual, we'll start with our town clerk's report.
Okay. We got a couple questions on pickup. Do we have free food pickup dates yet?
I don't.
Not yet.
I don't.
Just wanted to.
Yep, soon as I know, you'll know.
Okay.
Yep, hopefully soon,
Okay.
yeah.
And we will post, we haven't got to it yet, the tri-town changes.
Yeah, do you think I should put an ad in the paper?
We can, yeah, absolutely.
Just Parsonsfield residents now have access to Tri-Town
Yep.
with a pass for all the same, except for household trash and bagged items,
Okay.
okay?
Yep. Sounds
Simple,
good.
easy?
Yep. And we're still doing the 5 days?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's next.
Haven't heard from them, so far so good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I did want to spend some time talking about cemeteries. I did include a page from the 2022 town report on private cemetery accounts. And I guess just ask a little bit of information on that. What is that exactly, David?
David? Oh,
Well, you,
basically the town was given money by somebody associated with the cemeteries.
okay,
And the monies was, I don't know if exclusively, but generally to be used for maintenance of the cemeteries.
and these are all private.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Was that in the 23 budget? No.
It wasn't, because it was reported a little different because it's a part of a reserve account. It will this year though,
Uh-huh.
now that we have a balance, so. I guess the reason I'm just bringing this up is because of the East Parsonsfield Cemetery request and how that's handled. We did get 2 calls last week, I guess, more so because it was Memorial Day. Concerns that the private cemeteries are not getting mowed, and now we are really feeling how much less really did. And it doesn't seem like everybody else has stepped up, and he did a lot on a volunteer base.
Yep.
He did.
Absolutely.
So now we're feeling his loss a lot right now,
Mhm.
even more so because everybody's taking notice on how much work he did on the private cemeteries. So we got some complaints. Eastman Cemetery, the corner near 1576 North Road has not been mowed, and I guess they just had a burial, and they're calling us wondering what's going on. The stones are still knocked down on North Road,
Yep.
right next to the road. We've gotten a lot of complaints on those. Trees are still hanging over the cemetery on Chase Road. I guess I'm just bringing it up to you guys because people are really concerned. And what do we tell these people? What can we do? I mean,
Ask for volunteers.
ask for
I know.
volunteers, but
Yep.
I'm collecting information from other towns.
Uh-huh.
And I did get a lot of, I think my favorite response was from Hiram, and I can forward it to you, that they do have a way of funding the outlying cemeteries. They pay for the town, I believe how she's explaining it, they pay for the town first. Some of it goes to, they rate as an additional, I'm reading it now. She says, we have a few larger cemeteries we help support each year. The town's support usually covers the mowing fee for those cemeteries. We also raise an additional $2,000 each year to pay for flags, veteran markers, and other projects. What does not get expended annually, we place in a special fund for future projects to the outlying cemeteries. I think it's a state law that veteran cemeteries are supposed to be maintained. Is that correct?
I think,
Veterans' graves.
Good.
Correct.
Not cemeteries.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have heard some from other towns on that. They say that they do follow that law, of course, but if they're gonna mow that, they might as well mow the whole thing. because it doesn't really look all that great when you just mow patches of veterans and leave everybody else. There's a lot of Parsons Field residents in these private cemeteries. It's a big concern.
Yeah.
And I don't know if just relying on, well, we don't have any volunteers, the grass is just gonna grow. I don't know. I just feel like as a town, we need to do something.
So,
Daniel, you mentioned North, are you talking about the ones where there was a car accident? And
That's one of
knocked
them.
over? That was supposedly a lawsuit was going on that one, and they were going to be reimbursed to fix that.
No, that was a year ago. And the
Well, that's
owner,
what I was told by,
the owner came in and talked to it.
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
not happening?
Not happening.
Oh, wow.
But he got a settlement on it, that's what I was told.
I don't know. And
So are there two accounts, one for town cemeteries and then one for the private?
These are the private ones.
Well-
That's why I asked. I'm just
That's why I'm
curious.
asking, 'cause-
We've got three things actually going. We have these accounts which were bequeaths to the town to do something for these cemeteries. We then have the amounts that we raise at annual town meeting,
Mm-hmm.
which last year we agreed to roll over into a reserve account any monies that we did not spend. We did not specify that that money would go to private cemeteries. What we said is that we will maintain the town cemeteries first. And then if there is money left over, we would potentially expend it on private cemeteries. Now,
Yeah, can I see your paper? It sounds
Which one?
it sounds awkward if it was bequeathed to these cemeteries, I think.
That's
David, a lot
the
of-
phone call we got on. That's just the contact information.
When people give money, normally it's for that one grave site, like if
Right, these are all
something was
specific
gonna
names.
happen to me, then my brother might give money to have that one grave site maintained
mhm.
normally, so you'd probably have to go back and research the private cemeteries to see what the intent was.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I would like to talk about this again because I do have a lot of responses from other towns, and kind of make a chart on how, not saying it's right or wrong, but just more input on how other towns. When I worked for Baldwin, and this is kind of like what I'm going back to, they appropriated $7,000 each year, and they had, now it's maintained by the Public Works crew. All the cemeteries in Baldwin, because they feel that there is a veteran in every cemetery, and they are obligated to do that. That's just how Baldwin looks at it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They used to pay 2 or 3 cemetery employees, and that's all they did. They mowed, made sure it was ready for Memorial Day, and they visited at least every cemetery at least once, just like Weston.
Uh-huh.
And they got paid. And it was a $7,000 budget. Now it's under the Public Works. It's just another way of another town on how they maintain their
Right.
cemeteries.
Yeah.
Every town's a little different, so I kind of wanted to put it all together in a list, different options.
Uh-huh. Maybe it's time we look at, I mean, we don't have a public works department, but
Yeah. We
No.
also have 165 private cemeteries in town.
Absolutely.
I know. I know, but maybe it's time to, because Wes isn't here, you know, we had a couple of guys, Jim being one, and Jack, you know, and taking care of them with Wes.
Mhm.
But maybe it's time to see if we could have somebody.
Could expand our mowing contract to cover X number of private cemeteries.
A lot of these private cemeteries aren't mowable.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
not mowable,
Well, that's what I mean,
but they're
X number.
definitely
I mean,
clean
that's-
upable.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And that's what Baldwin did, remove the sticks
Yep.
and just an aisle, you know, and
Yep,
that was
just
it.
cleaned
At
them
least
up.
visit once a year.
Yeah.
And, but the ones around the roads that were private got mowed.
Yep.
Stones were uprighted.
Made, just
I don't
cleaned
know.
up. I think it's worth a workshop discussion to come up
Mhm.
with something that we could
Okay,
offer the town.
okay.
Yep.
Just something to look at, and I'll look at, I got a lot of town responses from the clerk site.
Okay.
And I'll just put those together,
Mm.
so.
I mean, I think because we do have so many in Parsonsfield and it's so much history and that there's, you know, Revolutionary War, vets in some of them, along with Civil War vets, and from what I've seen, and I think I think you're right. I think respectfully submitted, it's worth looking at for maintenance.
Mhm.
We're
All of them.
concentrating on the 3 town-owned
Right.
cemeteries.
But there are probably Parsonsfield residents that are in the other ones as well.
Oh,
So-
All of them,
Absolutely.
all of them, right, right.
Oh, absolutely.
Who paid taxes?
So, we're just,
Yeah.
Wes did a lot.
He did. Oh, he did,
He did a
yeah.
lot, and.
We were not gonna
we're-
find another Wes, I don't think.
No.
Yep.
Do we have any idea of the number of people interred in each cemetery?
I'm sure Wes must have.
He probably,
Well, we have the list. Yeah, I don't think there's a breakdown, but we have the list of cemeteries that lists each, the
Yep.
people
I'm
that
just
are
thinking,
there.
like,
oh, that
Say,
list of
okay,
people
we're
that
gonna
are,
address the
yeah, 'cause
top
we
20.
actually have this, that we
Right.
wanna
and then
hang
go
up in
from
the
there,
in
or
the
some
hallway,
number
right?
that's a
Got
good
list
break
of actually
point.
people
Every
in
cemetery that has
Jim
more
has all the
than
information.
10 people, I don't
The
know,
book.
whatever the numbers showed.
Mhm.
Big,
Yeah.
big.
Yep.
Yeah,
I saw him going through
somebody
it
would
the
have
other
to
day.
compile that
So-
Yeah,
list.
I mean,
Yeah.
because there's no way we're gonna be able
Yeah.
to address 138,
165.
I believe.
65.
Yeah.
Jim has Jim has all that information, so.
Mhm.
Anyways, I
Does
just
he wanna
wanted
be
to bring
the
it
new cemetery guru?
Keeper of the graves.
Keeper of the graves.
I'll talk to him,
up. Okay. All right, so
but we do need to address it, I agree. It's too many to let go.
Yep,
workshop next week, or do you want to just talk about it during the meeting? I'll have that information put together. from the other towns.
Yeah, why don't you bring it in early for a workshop?
Workshop?
Yep.
Okay.
I know Dave won't be here, but we can just pass it on.
That's okay.
And I am so sorry that what we're talking about is what you're going through. so,
Yep,
Yep.
that's all right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, just a few reminders, for the municipal election, the nomination papers will be available June 3rd. Tuesday, June 11th is the state primary election. I did post the absentee ballot information on the website and Facebook page. The link's right there in case you want to vote absentee online and request a ballot that way. Polls will be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, June 11th. And that's really all I got. I am receiving town report information, reports, started a file. When will the budget committee be meeting?
Harvey, I'll see him tonight, I'll ask him again. I have asked him several times. I think he's waiting, maybe Debbie to have information from the
After
budget.
closeout or
Yeah.
something?
Really shouldn't wait until
No,
the end.
I
Should-
totally
Yeah.
agree.
We got
It's
11
creeping up,
months.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we've said that before.
Yep, and I've been saying it
Yeah.
I will say it again,
Okay.
okay?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, we're starting to think about it and get stuff compiled,
Yep.
so, yep, it'll be here.
I've
before
been
I do it.
thinking about it, like,
Yeah.
yeah, can't do it last minute.
The public hearing and the special town meeting for the planning board had advertised and there wasn't enough time, so canceled.
Right.
Is there another date yet?
Jen hopes to find out.
I hope to find
tonight.
that out tonight also.
Tonight,
Aaron is
okay.
the chair, and and I'll see him tonight.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. I just didn't want to forget and.
Yeah.
not post it. Okay,
No, we don't want to forget either, it's important.
excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
yeah, just one more thing, I'm just trying to, cemetery funds for private cemeteries needing repair, that's almost a separate category as opposed to mowing them and getting them, respectable.
Right.
And then we have to look at
Yep,
getting the headstones up, whether they're gonna do fencing, I mean, we're considering spending a lot of money to fence and repair fencing in town
town
cemeteries.
cemeteries, right. I guess right now what people are really noticing is the mowing.
Okay.
The
well,
ones that
and
were
it's-
taken care of are now tall. And
Yeah.
now it's
Yep.
really getting noticeable now because
Yeah.
Yep.
Wes isn't doing.
Yep.
So-
Alrighty, so that's certainly, was a good thing. Well, sure, everyone's really bored about knowing that our notes from last week were approved and we're doing our agenda today. We're also paying our bills. Only had about $14,000 worth of bills this week. As tells you what the town spends when there's no school and snow plowing and trash pickup and all that good stuff. We have ads, bulky waste pickup. Don't forget, June 28th and October 12th for white goods and tires, and then bulky waste is the 14th, so. If you want to get rid of your items and you don't want to take them to Tri-Town and pay some money, you've already paid the money in your taxes, so put the items out there and the town will pick them up. Code enforcement monthly report, we did receive all the reports from the code enforcement officer. He is up to date. Did you got those?
I got yours, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's up to date, and just as a little bit of information, it looks like in the first 4 months he approved 11 dwellings. That's 11 new houses, not refab and reconditioning, but 11 new houses. So
When was that?
this is the first 4 months of the year.
Okay.
So it looks like we're in a 30 to 35 new houses per year type of thing, based upon the first 4 months.
That's a
Now,
lot.
that's gonna be maybe a little low because
No.
winter time, who builds houses, but,
Are those new dwellings or just building permits?
well, these are dwellings, which are building permits.
Is that gonna be looked at a little?
That's a lot. Yeah,
It does seem like an awful lot.
yep.
Well, he's got them here.
I'm just thinking of the growth of the town, that's all.
Well, that's,
That's substantial.
no, maybe it's more.
Well,
Maybe it should be looked at.
it does need to be looked at. I mean, there's services and goods that go along with it in terms of school and rescue and fire and
Yeah.
everything else that needs to, yeah, that's a lot for a town like
For a
this.
small town.
Yep. It's been discussed, growth cap, and recommended in the comprehensive plan, the potential for a growth cap. A lot of towns do have them, allowing so many permits per year.
So many residential
Yep.
building permits per year.
Is that set by the select board? Is that how it's written, or
I think it's probably select board voted by
is that
the
kind of
town.
revisited every year and voted upon, or how is that
I don't know if
actually-
I don't know if it's revisited every year, but I do believe that it's a recommendation from the comprehensive plan. I can find out more who actually sets it, or,
Yeah, I think the town would probably have to enact a growth ordinance.
right,
Yeah.
yep. And since our comprehensive plan's meeting tonight, it's something we can,
Yeah, that's a big one.
yep.
That would be nice to include in the town report
Mm-hmm,
of new houses.
yeah, I agree.
And we'll be receiving our other reports at the beginning of next month. Comprehensive Committee, 6 o'clock this evening.
Yeah,
They're winding up, as they say.
yeah, we're just working on a presentation for the public. It's going well. I think it looks really good.
And Dave, nothing from
No, nothing. Of course, with the day off yesterday, I couldn't email them yesterday, but I emailed them this morning, and I have heard nothing back.
Rescue, they gave us their report already. So we're, as you all know, these are monthly reports. SMPC, you have representatives. We'll have to discuss how we wanna, Harvey, who is no longer a selectman, was on the Southern Maine board, so to speak. And we can't have another representative, so we should decide whether and who we want to represent Parsonsfield for the two vacancies, or two seats that we have.
The email from Reagan asks if he is on another board.
Well, he is in the sense of
Well, he's on the planning board, isn't he?
Yes,
Harvey?
yes.
Yeah.
He's an alternate on the planning board.
Okay, all right,
Yes.
all right. And the comprehensive board?
Comprehensive Plan Committee.
Committee, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Budget
maybe we
committee.
just have to look at finding another person for,
Well, I talked to Jen about it, and she was interested. She works very closely with them.
Seems like I know all
Jen,
of them.
Jen who? Not our overworked Jen here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we want to avoid.
What is involved? More-
One meeting.
Oh, I think it's coming up.
It can probably
Yeah.
involve more than that, but
I'm doing so
Well,
much
but
with
she
them
said it
already.
was
What's one more?
She said in her email, one meeting.
Who's it, Reagan? I'll talk to Reagan tonight.
The information's in your packet.
Okay.
yeah.
What does it do on the back of our, who is the General Assembly?
I thought the meeting sounded great. Or something.
Must be appointed by the Board of Selectmen.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Just answered
Is
my
there
question,
one?
right?
Work plan for the upcoming year, you got about 2 months worth of work here.
In one meeting, you're right.
Well, it never ends.
Yes, that's true. Like a car payment.
The York County Budget Committee. This is the money that gets included in our annual report and warrant item. In the last few years, have been around 110,000. Going back to York County, looks like a 7.3% increase, so it'll probably be 7% more.
You want to mention when the public hearing is? 'Cause it's probably open to the public.
Well, will be held on Monday, June 10th at 6 o'clock, York County Government Building, Jesus, 149 Jordan Springs Road in Alfred, in the Commissioners' Meeting Room.
Thank you.
Jordan Spring, is that,
It's where York County EMA is located also.
okay, near the courthouse?
I think it used to be the old jail.
It's in the, across, on the main road there,
Mhm,
across from,
mhm.
okay. You can comment on the budget. Some prior selectmen have attended and they listen, but our concerns are generally not acted upon. Mutual franchise agreements with Spectrum. They're just changing a few of the guidelines. I believe we're still gonna get our licensing fee from Spectrum. We have about 230 people signed up with Spectrum.
Yeah, we'll get payments quarterly instead of annually.
Right.
And, that may be, from our standpoint, about the only exclusive or important thing. I don't know if this means we need to draw up a new agreement, or we can wait till our next renewal.
The renewal's in a couple of years, I think. Didn't we have a 5-year agreement initially?
At least.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So that's about it, folks. Jen, do you have anything else on the cannabis or anything else?
Well, we're still,
Door openers?
door openers, I've heard from Keith Logan, and he said by the end of next week, he should have the electric part done, and then they can do the installation.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, be good. York County has been given the go-ahead to submit for FEMA money for the April 4th storm, both York County and Cumberland County, so Maya and I will be getting all that information together so we can get reimbursed for all the damage and tree removal. And Monday, there's a Zoom on shelters with YCEMA, so maybe we can find out about that cable, the fiber optics that we wanted to. Yeah, we'll see about that. And I contacted Zebra Striping, that's a company in Saco, I believe, that does crosswalks, and Maya has used them before. She's gonna put together an estimate and send it to me, and then we'll go from there.
Good.
Once it's been looked at and approved, then they're just a couple of weeks out for work, so.
Good.
We have about 3 crosswalks. Is that the plan?
One,
Just one?
just one. The other one doesn't meet DOT requirements, the one that's right before the bridge.
What about up by,
There isn't one there.
There's only one in front of the daycare, kind of, no, it's in front of Stanley Building, really. Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes
Okay.
across to the post office.
so nothing up by the old Walker Chevrolet or
No.
No,
Dollar General or anything like that one?
no,
You
not,
really don't have people crossing there.
Might have more.
all those
Okay,
people
so it'll
moving
be
in.
just one then? for
Yeah.
now. Okay. David, you have?
I have coffee, and that's about all I have.
Well, that's all right. We have no guests today. So unless anyone has any objections, we'll close the meeting.
Sounds
So
good.
thank you, folks. Not very exciting today, if it ever is exciting.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Always.